YouTube, good morning. Welcome back to the DFS Daddy YouTube channel. We're going to be going through yesterday's free plays, looking ahead at Thursday night football. I'm not talking about baseball again right here. Yesterday, went 2 out of 3 on the free plays on Sleeper. Over on Prizepicks, we went 2 out of 4. But it brings up a good point about utilizing multiple sites. So as you see here, Matt Vierling on Prizepicks, he's a loss, right? Less hits, runs, RBIs because he hit a single that got an RBI. But on Sleeper, he just got a hit, a single, so he got less than one bases. So this is a matter of it's kind of proving a point that if you play on multiple sites, you get to utilize different lines. Like on Prizepicks, I believe whenever I was playing Vierling, he was a read from not having much success against Framber and played it and didn't have that option. So I just took the less there. My other reads, Kyle Tucker and Jake Myers, they were spot on. They couldn't hit Tariq Skubal at all. Not many Astros could. They showed to be not proficient. And then the Framber read was pretty horrible. Not a great outing for somebody's ace like that, just to get beat up in the second. Was not ideal at all. So yeah, 2 out of 3 on my free picks on Sleeper, and then Prizepicks was the one I was showing. Sleeper is a bit more tedious because I can't pull up the web version of the picks unless somebody could tell me how. That would be amazing. But let's look ahead towards Sunday Night Football, and I'm going to just be kind of going through some stats, give you some information that would maybe help you make your own picks. I might be going towards what I would lean. I'm going to be playing these either on Sleeper, Chalkboard, or Prizepicks. Like I said, mix of the three. It'll be really just about kind of shopping the lines, seeing which one I like the best. So I'm going to start off with just going through some of the matchups, wide receiver versus cornerback. So we are seeing a great matchup for both of the Tampa Bay receivers. And this is honestly part of it's a credit to just how well that they're playing and that offense is firing, that their projections, their numbers are going to look really good right now everywhere. But it's also taking into effect the matchup and the cornerback they're going against. So we know that Godwin has been operating in the slot. I called it before the season. You can go back and check my Instagram videos. I made a video on it. Godwin, he's going to be operating in the slot. He was going to smash. So we knew this was coming. Evans is operating outside. We know that traditionally. So I think he's going to be matching up to Terrell or one of their lockdown receivers a bit more. And on the flip side, we're seeing that the Falcons receiving core is going to have a bit of a harder matchup, but this is all to be taken with a grain of salt. It's nothing you just look at and take as like Bible. Tight end matchup, looking for green or red. Nothing too bad here to indicate that we need to avoid them at all costs. Personally, Kyle Pitts is someone I'm not really touching with a 10-foot pole right now, just how it's been going. He only really hit his line last week because that 50-yard pass, and he got like nothing else. So that's someone that I'm not too keen on betting on unless it's maybe an under. Offensive line. This is a great one to actually look at. Something that a lot of people don't consider a lot when they're thinking about matchups is the O-line versus D-line, and the flip side is quarterback doesn't have time to throw. It's going to be hard to get passing yards if they don't have a good run blocking team. Then they're not going to run as much. You're going to pass more, stuff like that. So again, we're looking for green and red to see like very differing. We don't see that, but this one jumped out to me. Run minus 21%. So this is for the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the Atlanta Falcons. So this tells me they're going to have a bit harder time running the ball, and passing the ball they're going to be having more success. Just comparing the two sides, like sides of the coin, pass versus run. So that could be something to consider. And another thing is this yards before contact. That usually you want this number to be as high as you can. You're getting your running backs bigger holes. You're getting them more time just to see the field. So when I see this might be something that I'd be like, I might not favor the Tampa Bay running game. And as we've kind of seen in previous iterations of this team, like running the ball is not usually a strong suit. I know Bucky Irving has kind of came on lately, but this is something that I might target an under on a running back for. and it puts even more stock in this wide receivers like doing well. So that's something I can consider. And then going over to projections for just this game, just looking at the Falcons and the Bucks. So going to look at the receivers and kind of see where PFF has their projections at. Again, it's not Bible. You just see where it's at. So they got Evans and Godwin going for about the same yardage. Let's see if this sportsbooks. Let's see if like Prizepicks and others are agreeing with that. So they got Godwin at 67. They got Evans at 64.5. So they're kind of agreeing that they're about the same right now in terms of projections. Catches 5.5 and 6.2. So this is usually where you see a discrepancy with Evans and Godwin, is because Evans tends to be more of like the big play, not as many catches. Godwin is more so operating on the slot. We've seen him smash this line lately and hit it lately. Evans, I think, got a lot of targets last week. Yeah, I think he had 11 targets for 8 catches. So could be something to consider here. Drake London, Kyle Pitts. So we got 61-45. So right on par. And then Pitts. So that's a big discrepancy actually. So his line's at 30. PFF is projecting him for 45. I said that I wouldn't touch him with a big pole, and truthfully, I just don't know if I can bring myself to do it. It's probably something where I don't even want to play the under. I would just avoid it completely, just to avoid the pain. So I might just lean away from that one. Quarterback wise, we should see some pretty healthy passing numbers, 252 and 222 for Baker and Kirk. So usually these passing numbers tend to be a bit inflated on the projections, I feel like, versus the numbers. There's just so many things that go into a quarterback passing line that make them hard to bet on consistently. Game script. If a team goes up by a lot, you may think like, oh, well, they're passing. Maybe they might pass for like the first half, but if they're just running out the clock, they're not passing as much. The team that's behind is usually the one throwing more. So it's like you're trying to guess which one's going to be losing and then pick on that. Or if it's both teams are competing well, like we saw the Seahawks and Lions game, like both teams are just firing shots and then both quarterbacks go over. There's just so much. And then obviously when we talk about injury risk with unders, then so that's something to consider there. So I'm trying to just really see if something sticks out to me. I'm going to go over to Player Prop Shop and see if they have anything that's stuck out to them yet. So Drake London under 64.5 receiving yards. So this could be in line with, so this is defensive grading. So I was looking at the Tampa Bay defense. Their coverage has been really good, according to PFF. So they're the second ranked coverage team right now. That's something to really consider as we make a play here. And pressure wise, let's see where Tampa Bay is ranking. Tampa Bay is ranking down here at 70. This is just all like subjective, right? But 69, 70 pressure. So that means they're getting the quarterback, and Kirk Cousins, as we traditionally know him, when he's under pressure, it's not going to be too good. You got to have a good D line. So that's something I would maybe actually kind of like that. I might be taking that under there. It could also help me take an under on Kyle Pitts, just to not feel as bad about it. Okay, so for that game right now, they just have the London under receiving and Bijan over receiving. He's had 4 more targets facing the Bucks, who give up the 3rd most targets, 2nd most receiving yards to running backs. Ooh, okay, that's a good little stat right there. Let's see what the projection for 25, so kind of right on that number. So if we did something like this, he has hit or gotten close to that lately. Wonder what his reception line. Okay, they don't have his receptions line. Targets, don't have his targets. Cade Otton's an interesting play. He's been targeted really heavily lately. I think Atlanta linebackers are actually playing pretty solid, because if I remember, Atlanta coverage is actually pretty low, or middle of the pack. Oh no, top 10. Okay, so coverage wise, middle of the pack, it was the rush defense that was like pretty deep, pretty middle of the pack, 65. Something that did concern me with the Buccaneers was how low their tackling stat was. I was kind of surprised by that. Stuck out to me. But really, we're seeing a match of 2 kind of evenly matched defenses, ranked 11 to 16, according to kind of all these numbers combined together. So something that could tell me is maybe it's not as high of a scoring game as we would maybe think. Both teams have given up about the same amount of points, 85, 78. Atlanta's only scored 75 and Tampa scored 97. So that's something to consider there. Right now, I'm actually really liking this Cade Otton number, just given his kind of uptick in usage lately. So Cade Otton is projected for 3.5 catches, so 3.5, 4 catches, and his target line is 4.5. So we need 5 targets. That's not too bad of a line right there. I actually like that. We have any picks? Ooh, we got both of them. We know when Cousins pressured, he's gonna throw some picks, so that's something to consider. Right now, if I was just to place this, I think I would roll those 3 in there. I like both of them. So really, kind of game script wise, what we're seeing is Falcons don't have too much success pushing the ball down the field, using a lot more checkdowns to Bijan and hoping he cracks one open. So definitely something we've seen before, and we could utilize that here. Appreciate all tuning in. Leave a comment below if you have watched all the way through. I would love to reach back out and maybe give you some free access to my Winnable. So Winnable is where I post all my free plays. There's also VIP stuff in there too, but really let's just focus on the free play where I'm giving this out without asking for anything. So I post free plays. Here's my Winnable here. So each and every day I'm posting out picks, going through like the results of them. Sometimes I send out these crazy ones where it's just touchdown lines. I think so. Fields hit, Reed hit, Evans hit. Um, Jones was supposed to score against his former team. They gave him so many tries and he just couldn't do it. ETN fumbled at the 1 yard line, and then Shakir, that Bills just got blown out. So I also give my leans in terms of money lines, spreads. I've been doing a lot against the spread lately. This one, competitive game, they just lost it towards the end. Here we go. Bucks, that won that. They won that outright last week. Can I just like not click through these? Okay, there we go. Colts Steelers. That was a close one. Especially whenever Richardson got knocked up, I thought he would. I thought this would hit, but it did not. Niners Patriots. Again, I thought this one would hit too with just a horrible offense. And there's some kind of system where if the spread's really large, taking the under has like a 60% chance of hitting. Vikings, they went outright. I took the +3. Should have played the money line, but you win some, but not as much as good. All right, guys, just rambling here. Hope you enjoyed getting some of this information. Again, if you're signing up on one of these apps, if you've never used them before, they're very similar to Prizepicks. I'd even say lately they've been doing a lot more promotion in terms of like alternate lines, free picks, stuff like that. So definitely utilize those and just have that ability to shop the lines just like I do. You'll notice on Winnable as well, I will be posting like stuff from Fliff. I do Player Prop Shop. I'm trying to go to where maybe I shared like a sleeper. I shared like a sleeper line. So just if you're in my Winnable, having access to all those is definitely a big advantage. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's make some money tomorrow. You'll see a post on my Instagram and TikTok channels today about some more free picks. So glad you came to the YouTube, got some exclusive insight into the numbers behind it. If I was to lock in 3 plays right now, I would say London under, Bijan over, and Cade Otton targets over. Have a good one.